So I forgot to hit the record button until just this moment. Welcome to Clockwork Cantina 143, 2022, year of the
Hello.
recap. Hi,
Episode
guys.
143. What?
This is off the rails. I'm so sorry. I
Episode
forgot to hit the
143,
record button.
Last episode of the year, on the last day of the year. That's just the way it worked out. Hello, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for checking out. Thanks for listening to this. We appreciate you joining us for another year. For another year of the Cantina.
Yes.
As we, continue forward.
Yeah.
As well.
Year recap show, second half show, we talking about all the stuff we want to do next year and look back at some of the stuff this year. News as usual, and we're going to talk about what we've been up to starting right now. I'm so glad I looked right at this moment, DT, to make sure that I hit that button, which I didn't hit, that I thought I hit. So let's do it. What have you been up to this past week? Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, everybody.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays if you don't celebrate the Christmas stuff. I had a good Christmas chilling with fam. It was very low-key and very chill, very relaxed. I didn't really... Normally, I would, group with the entire, extended family, but not this year. It was just more of a chiller thing, which I thought was nice. Yeah, it was cool. It was good. I hope everybody had a good time as well. And, yeah, I haven't really been up too much. I've been kind of busy. This is how the holidays are, man. They're busy times. So I haven't really been doing much. I have been continuing to play a couple games though. I've been playing some Fortnite and I played a little bit of Ready or Not, which you also played, Josh. Play a little bit of that. That was fun trying out that update. That game was fun, but man, it's hard, dude.
It
and
is.
Also, I think it's really ridiculous that you have full fucking armor and shit, and these motherfuckers that you're fighting don't, and yet you get down in like 3 shots, and these motherfuckers are bullet sponges. How does that work? That's what I
know,
want
right?
to know.
Like, if you're gonna do like a glass cannon game, the bad guys should be glass too, not just me, right? Like,
yeah,
because it feels like it's just us.
How that works? Because yeah, I die in like I feel like 3 hits sometimes, and these motherfuckers I gotta unload an entire clip, and then like these dudes are still not even dead yet. I'm like, how are you still alive? But play a little bit of that. Played some Football Manager and FIFA 23. I played a little bit of Overwatch 2, but not a whole lot. And then I didn't really watch anything other than I caught up on the last 2 episodes of Willow. episodes 5 and 6, but that's been pretty much it. I haven't really been like entertainment wise. I haven't really been doing a whole lot. I've just been busy, man. It's just been a busy week. But yeah, I got a good Christmas and holiday stuff, so glad for that. But that's pretty much all I've been up to, like exciting wise. Yeah. So your turn. What have you been up to, Josh? Let the people know.
The Christmas stuff was good. You know, I got some stuff. My sister brought me a new jacket. I got that for Christmas. My parents got me some. Originally, my parents got me like the laptop. That was kind of like the thing that helped with the. That was supposed to be my Christmas present, but my mom got me some jewelry and stuff because I like jewelry. I don't talk about it a lot on the show, but it's kind of like one of the things I like on the side. Other than that, I've messed around a little bit with World of Warcraft, checking out the new expansion, and that's kind of like it. Like, I haven't really done... It's been very much... Let's watch Christmas movies, and I didn't note any of them down, because it's things I've seen. You know, it's kind of like the same stuff you see every year type stuff. Yeah. Christmas Story, Christmas Vacation, Die Hard.
I got a question, though. Did you end up watching your boy, the Snow Miser and the Heat Miser?
I didn't. I actually don't like that one, to be honest with you.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Gotcha.
All right.
I think I just saw it so much as a kid, you know?
Nah, I get you. I saw a few of those this year because they were just like on TV and shit, right? So it's like, oh, here's... Yeah, but no, I saw those a lot when I was a kid too. So I get you on that. I understand if you have enough of that. I understand.
The Year Without a Santa Claus, and I'll have a Blue Christmas Without You. It's like, as a kid, I didn't like it really either. You know, that I don't know. I don't. Got you. It's weird. I don't. It's the best way to describe it. I don't like I don't like musicals. Really, I guess. And there's a lot of singing in those.
There is. Yeah.
and there's some musicals I like and I'll watch, but like those Christmas ones are like, I don't know. It just something about it. It misses me. Like especially now that I'm old enough to be like, can I just watch Clark Griswold lose his shit instead? Like that's kind of more fun to me, I guess, than these stop motion puppets singing about snow and heat and bringing snow to Summertown or whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
I
I
just don't
got you.
like those as much. I just don't like those as much. Um, but yeah,
All
that's
right.
kind of like all it's been.
Cool, cool.
Really, I haven't even watched. I'm like 2 episodes behind on Tulsa King. I haven't watched any of that stuff. Like I've. It's been a very lazy week, 2 weeks, I guess, week and a half, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Um, for me, trying to fix the sleep schedule because it's boned like real bad. Not gonna help any tonight since we'll be staying up late. It's bringing in the new year, stuff like that. So, kind of all I've been up to, guys. Not a lot. Sorry, it's not very exciting.
Yeah, no,
uh,
it's just been yeah, not a lot going on because of the holidays and all that. So
there's
yeah.
not even a lot of news. Like everything is, we are in
No,
that end of
we
the
have some,
year.
but yeah, it's just
Everything is
yeah,
dead.
it's chill, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's the calm before the storm of the next year, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you want, we can go ahead and move on then. If you're ready to go to the news, which will again won't be too much, but it'll be some because we still have a little bit to talk about here. Uh,
Let's do it.
let's do it. All right, so we got a little bit of game of news here to start off. Um, so for the first piece of game of news is that in March, Sifu was bringing the fight to Xbox and Steam. So the martial arts brawler Sifu is coming to Xbox and Steam sometime in March. But not only that, it's also receiving a big content update free to all players. The update is called Arenas, and as the name suggests, it adds up to 9 new maps that feature combat challenges. Overcoming these missions unlocks new modifiers that introduce alternative combat moves, cheats, and outfits. It's the latest edition in the roadmap of seasonal post launch updates that have bolstered the title with more cosmetics, cheats, difficulty settings, and even a replay editor. And we have a little arenas teaser with the Steam and Xbox reveal if you want to throw that up, Josh.
Yeah, let me get
So
that
we can
open.
check it out. It's a little 40-second little video here. We can go
All
ahead
right.
and check
I
out.
am. I am ready.
All right. 3, 2, 1, play.
Lay down the ass whippings on Sifu.
Damn. Oh,
This game seems like it would be
this
so much fun once you master the combat.
yeah, like I haven't played it yet
I
myself,
haven't
but
either.
I kind of I want to though. Ever since I've like this game was announced, I've been interested in it. But yeah, I gotta. There's so many games I need to play still, man. Like that I want to get that I don't even have yet. So there's which I mean, which is always the thing, right? But anyway,
Mm-hmm.
that's one of them. And yeah, I gotta check it out. New update. It's gonna be cool. Um, yeah, dope, dope stuff. That looks fun. Very cool. So again, it's coming to March, or it's coming to Steam and Xbox in March. Because as of right now, it had only been on PlayStation and Epic Games. All right, moving on from that, Risk of Rain is getting a remake. So 2013's Risk of Rain is getting an enhanced remake, and it's coming next year to celebrate its 10th anniversary. Titled Risk of Rain Returns. Uh, it improves on the original with new art, survivors, and more. It was announced during Nintendo's House of Indies Holiday Event Day 2. Uh, Risk of Rain Returns expands on the first game while applying the lessons and improvements. Risk of Rain 2. Although Returns does not adopt the sequel's 3D art direction, it features new HD pixel art, balancing tweaks, and new musical tracks from composer Christ, Christodolu. Uh, I don't know if I said that right. Apologies if I did not. It also improves the multiplayer with other content updates to be shared in the future. And we have a little animated announcement trailer to check out as well.
Yeah,
So let's give it a go.
I'm ready.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
I've never played
These
Risk of
games?
Rain. Yeah, I've never played
Yeah, I
any
haven't
of them.
either. I've heard a lot about them though, like especially the second one. Like, and I've seen people play the second one, and I was kind of interested in it. So I'm curious to see if this like remake of the first one is how it looks. See if
Mm-hmm.
I to maybe try it out eventually. All right. Well, not really a whole lot to see on the game itself there, but yeah, I guess it's just
Yeah,
more of an announcement trailer. But there it is, eShop and Steam 2023.
got
Cool. Cool. Uh, what else we got here? Oh, we got some TMNT game news. We got some updates on a couple of their games. So the first one is that TMNT the Cowabunga collection got a patch that is adding online co-op to SNES's Turtle in Time.
that's
So
cool.
there's a list of new additions and the issues that were fixed uh, for their games. Uh, but like the biggest one, like I said, is that Turtles in Time for Super Nintendo now has online multiplayer. Uh, and yeah, and it improves a bunch of other stuff for all the some of the other games. There's a list of all of those things that you can check out if you want to. I'm not gonna read them all off because it's just a lot of like bug fixes and shit like that. So yeah, if you have the game, you probably already noticed that it was patched. If you don't, if you were wanting to get it, maybe this is another reason for you to pick it up. So there it is.
Pretty fun. I love the new game. That's name is
Turtles.
escaping me like an idiot because I'm thinking Turtles in Time because that's the article we're on, but it's Shredder's Revenge, right? The new one.
Shredder's,
It's got all that
which
stuff in it.
speaking of Shredder's Revenge, we're
Oh,
moving on to that one. There's a new Shredder's Revenge update that features custom arcade mode and some filters and more. Um, so publisher Dotemu and developer Tribute Games are bringing a custom arcade mode, new filters, and more to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Shredder's Revenge. Uh, the update is available to download. Obviously, it has been for I want to say like a week or so now. Um, But yeah, there's custom games options granting ninjas greater control over their tubular battle against the Foot Clan through 11 mix and match modifiers reminiscent of the dip switches found on old school arcade machines. Retro theme filters and a large serving of refinements round out the surprise update, which is out on PC, PlayStation, Switch, and Xbox. And then they have an image of the custom like dip board there. You can do free play, radical ninja, doppelgangers, focus fighter, old school super, respectful reptile, revive no more, faster foot, blasting baddies, fiercer foot, and aggro adversaries. There's a lot of different things you can flip on and off to kind of, you know, ma- play the way you want to play if you want to do some custom games and all that. Which I feel like would be fun if you got like a full group, right? Like you're
Hmm.
all just, you know, playing the toidles, man. I haven't played that game in a while. I think I last played like in the summertime or whatever. But I like that game. That was a lot of fun, man.
Yeah.
I remember streaming it all like like playing through the story solo, and then I obviously played it with other people, and it's a lot of fun. I enjoyed that one. Be curious to see if we go back and maybe try out some of that update. But yeah, that's some TMNT gaming news. Let's talk about PlayStation Plus's games for January, which you should be able to get these on, I want to say Tuesday, right? Anyway, I think it's the first Tuesday of the month. Anyway, uh, so just in time for the new year, they revealed what games are going to be monthly for January on PlayStation Plus. Uh, so the three games are going to be Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is probably the biggest one, the biggest game. The sequel Jedi Survivor is coming out in March. So if you haven't played Jedi Fallen Order yet and you have a PlayStation, this is your opportunity. They're gonna be giving it away. So you best pick it up in time for the sequel in March. So Jedi Fallen Order, Fallout 76, and Axiom Verge 2 are the three games of the month. And if you haven't picked up December's games, you need to do that too before they leave. Because remember, today's the last day. So Divine Knockout, Biomutant, and the Mass Effect Legendary Edition are all December's, and they'll be available until January 3rd. So you need to pick those up if you want to get them before the January games roll in on that day. So those are all the games you can either get now or we'll be able to get on the 3rd. So go get the ones you haven't gotten yet and get ready for the ones that are coming because some pretty decent games, I'd say. I've Out of those, the only one I haven't played is Axiom Verge 2, so I can't speak on that. But Jedi Fallen Order was my game of the year in 2019, and Fallout 76 was, it's a game. Uh,
It
I
exists.
think
If
I
you
think I
play
think
it
what I
with controller
noticed I think
and
what I
keyboard.
noticed for myself after playing that game is that I may not be as big of a Fallout fan as I thought maybe I was. Like I like Fallout, but I don't
Here's the
know.
thing. I don't
I
even
just
think
don't.
Fallout fans like that game that much, unless you're like a super fan. Really, be fair.
Yeah, and I'm just
uh,
like I don't know, like because I mean to be fair, I haven't played a lot of like Fallout games. I played like 4 and 76 are the ones that I played, right? And both of those are kind of not really the from what I hear, like well, I've played them, but
Three
like
was
for
so
when
good.
when people talk about Fallout, they're like, "Oh, New Vegas and 3, those are the ones you need to play, or the old school ones or whatever."
I
And it's
never
like,
played New
okay,
Vegas. I like three though.
dude, everybody and their moms talks about that one,
It's
dude.
true. Everybody posts
It's
about
like
New Vegas,
Jesus.
but I like
And I
three.
just and I just can't find myself going back to playing an older game like that because I'm just like, man, I don't know. Like I don't
It's
know.
hard.
And
Some
then
games are
every time,
hard. You know?
yeah, and then like another thing is like I look at it and I'm like, man, that game looks dreary as fuck in the color palette. Like I don't know, there's just something about the color palette about that game that I'm like, man, this looks like
You know
boring as
what?
hell.
I'm the same. I agree with you. There's something about it. It's a little bit of a turn off for me.
Like I'm sure it's a great game. I'm sure it's fantastic, but just I don't know. There are things about them. I unless they like do a remake or a big remaster or something. I can't see myself playing that through that game. But anyway, we're talking about Fallout 76, which is a free game of PlayStation Plus. This is upcoming month in January, so I'm gonna quit, going talking about that other game. Uh, yeah. So those are your 3 games of the month. I'll remind you guys again. January 3rd, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, Fallout 76, and Axiom Verge 2 are all coming to PlayStation Plus. All right. I only got one last thing here for the gaming news, my friend, and that is some D&D news because why not, right? Let's have some D&D news to talk to end off the year. And that is that D&D will change itself to defend or will change to defend itself against crypto and other forms of exploitation. Wizards of the Coast will publish a new licensing agreement for the next iteration of Dungeons and Dragons called One D&D in early 2023. This new framework will only cover written materials, but its existence will impact creators of all stripes, including but not limited to authors, independent publishers, video producers, and actual play troops. This announcement was made in a blog post on December 21st. Uh, Comes on the heels of a big year for the publishers of the alternative D&D content, including high earning crowdfunding campaigns and even a novel startup attempting to blend existing D&D content with cryptographic blockchain technology. The new licensing agreement is still in the works, Wizard said, and is expected to launch in early 2023. Last week's announcement, how therefore, is an effort to ease concerns among players and creators alike while lawyers sort out the things in the background. Uh, Wizards said in their newly acquired digital platform D&D Beyond, "You all matter to us," vowing to provide transparency on how D&D will continue supporting third-party creators. But the post itself, which runs a little over 700 words, is short on details. Um, so what it does say though is that it's maintaining its relationship with the game content creators via the SRD, which is the Systems Reference Document, which is publicly licensed under the Open Gaming License (OGL). Think of the SRD as a truncated version of the larger 5th edition D&D library, bigger than what comes in your basic starter set, but it's far smaller than what is available in the core D&D rulebooks, like the player's handbook and the dungeon master's guide.
Mm-hmm.
That content is legally exposed to the gaming public, though the through the terms set forth in the OGL as a resource for creating new content compatible with the D&D rule set. But according to Wizards, the OGL is not specific enough as currently written. The OGL needs an update to ensure that it keeps doing what it was intended to do, uh, which is allow the D&D community's independent creators to build and play and grow the game we all love, without allowing things like third parties to mint D&D NFTs and large businesses to exploit our intellectual property, said Wizards. Uh, the SRD and OGL uh, are nearly a decade old at this point. Created in the lead up to the launch of the 5th edition in 2014. A lot has happened since then. D&D is more popular than ever, of course, thanks in part to the resurgence of interest in tabletop role playing brought on by shows like Stranger Things and Critical Role. Actual play performances have grown from an oddity to a multi-million-dollar segment of the entertainment industry. High-profile projects based on 5th edition D&D rules, such as Blizzard executive Chris Metzen's Ouroboros Coils of the Serpent,
I
are
have
pulling
that.
in. Yeah, Josh does have that. Are pulling in serious money through crowdfunding. Meanwhile, a startup called Gripner is intent on building 5e TTRPG one chain, applying cryptographic blockchain technology somehow to D&D. Given that landscape, you can see uh, how a Hasbro executive somewhere in a corner office is closing the door to have a panic attack. Uh, but D&D is naturally a creative pursuit. Fans and small creators alike need to have access to something like the systems reference document to grow the hobby going forward. Therefore, Wizards said changes to uh, the open gaming license will only apply to material created for use in or as tabletop role playing games. Of course, that naturally excludes well literally everything else. Other types of content, videos, video games are only possible through the Coast fan content policy or custom agreement with us, Wizards said. Outside of printed media and static electronics, the OGL doesn't cover it. So there's a lot in here, Josh. Like a lot
So
in terms of like yeah, if you want to speak on it, go ahead.
what I was
But
going to
yeah.
say, DT, did you look at that article I posted the other day in the D&D server? Because if you didn't, I'm going to post it here in the chat as well. From the Alexandrian.net, who is a dude on Twitter and has a website and a Patreon and all that good stuff. But he posted an article up about the open gaming license and what it actually means. Like the crypto, I feel like the article kind of buries the lead on it. They throw crypto in there and it kind of throws you off. But this could potentially be worrying for third party developers, people that make their own thing, and it's because they're making so much money, and Hasbro and Wizards is like, maybe we need a little bit more of that, kind of deal. So there's a few pieces in here, if you don't mind, that I would like to read, because it clarifies some of it.
Yeah, go for it.
So here's how the open gaming license works. The OGL can actually apply. I'm going to read some articles from this. Go give the website a view, by the way. The Alexandrian.net. The OGL can actually apply to a lot of different types of products, but to keep things simple, we're just going to talk in terms of RPG supplements published as books. There are 3 key things to understand about the OGL. First, not everything in a book is published under the OGL is free to use with a license. Instead, the publisher must explicitly declare what content in the book is open game content. This is material that other people can use in their own open games license books. The only requirement is that any open game content that you use from someone else must be declared as open content and credited in the copyright section of the copy of the OGL you print in your book. Second, the publisher of an OGL book can also choose to declare a product identity. This might be trademarks or character names or artwork. There's lots of stuff that can be product identity. The key thing is that product identity can never be open game content, even if the declaration of an open game content would otherwise apply. This provides a safety net that makes it easy for publishers to avoid accidentally opening their trademarks or other intellectual property. For example, if they declare the Truggle Womps are product identity, and they declare that everything in Chapter 2 is open content, then Truggle Womps won't be open content, even if they appear in Chapter 2. This is good because it will encourage publishers to use the OGL, since they won't have to worry about accidentally voiding their IP rights. It's also good because it encourages liberal and clear declarations of open game content. If product identity didn't exist, for example, a publisher might only declare a very small part of Chapter 2 open content to make sure they don't accidentally put Truggle Womps on the open market. The third thing to understand is that D&D core rulebooks were not released under the OGL. Instead, Wizards of the Coast copied some of the rules and lore from the core rulebooks into a digital file called the System Reference Document. It is the System Reference Document, or SRD, that was released under the OGL and thus made available to other publishers using the OGL. The final thing to know is that the OGL is unrecoverable. Once you release open game content under the OGL, it will always be open game content. There's no undo button, not even for Hasbro. So why did Wizards do this? Well, they had 2 goals. First, Ryan Dancy, who was in charge of D&D at the time and schemed up the OGL, believed that Wizards needed to be publishing a lot fewer supplements and adventures for D&D. He'd seen the TSR books, and he believed flooding the market with D&D books had been a major factor in that company's failure. So there is like some. I'm not going to read the whole thing because, one, you should go give this a view. It is very well written, educated, but it's also very long. The long and short of it is, like, really don't know what's gonna happen with the next version of D&D, kind of with the new whatever Wizards is gonna put out with it. But it could mean trouble for current third-party developers. However, 5th edition, right, and all the editions before that have the OGL, Wizards can't take that away. No matter what happens, if you're a third-party developer, you can continue to make things for those editions of the games. As far as I understand, I'm not super well educated on it, but from the way it's written in this article, it's like you can still make stuff for all that old stuff. But going forward, it might not be as good a thing, a big a thing, really, right? Like, Wizards wants that money, they want a cut of it. They're probably something like that, I imagine, is how it's going to happen. I think this is a mistake. If they fuck this up really bad, nobody's gonna go with future editions of D&D. They're gonna play the older editions of D&D, right? DT, right now, if I told you, what edition of D&D do you want to play, DT? You want to play D&D 6 that we know nothing about? Or do you want to play 5th edition, which we have extensive experience with? Which one, DT?
So we have so many resources for 5th edition right now. Like, come on now.
Right? Exactly. So that's the concern, right? If they do that and eliminate third-party product, right? That's gonna hurt them in the long run. IMO. Like, and I get it. Critical Role has become a mass giant thing. It is built off the back of D&D. I mean, really, it's built off the back of Pathfinder because they started with Pathfinder and converted it over to 5th edition because 5th edition is easy to grasp. And they've built a big multi-million-dollar company, TV series, the whole deal out of it, right? So, I going forward, I don't know. You kind of have to wait. It's kind of one of those things you got to wait and see and kind of hope that Wizards don't fuck up. Because, like, I support third-party companies. I've backed a billion Kickstarters that use the OGL. I've backed MCDM and become a fan of that company. Like, so, like, if you fuck it up, there's a good chance you could bankrupt yourself because that's what happened to TSR, right? Like, they went bankrupt and the whole story is in the Alexandrian.net stuff, guys. I put it in the chat. I recommend reading it, even if you don't know D&D all that well. It's fascinating. It's about 2 pages. It's pretty long, but it's worth a read. It's kind of so here I'm gonna read the last little bit of the Alexandrian because they have news on here for going to the future. It says the next chapter. In the waning days of 2022, preparations are being made for D&D's next chapter, a new edition of the game, currently referred to as 1D&D, and it has entered public playtesting, is scheduled for release in 2024 during the game's 50th anniversary. A few days ago, Wizards of the Coast announced that 1D&D, like 4th edition before, it would not be using the OGL. Instead, a new version of the license, currently referred to as the OGL version 1.1, will be used. We don't know a lot about this license, but we do know that 1. Those using the license will need to file their documents with Hasbro. 2. Those using the license who have at least $50,000 in OGL-related revenue will need to start reporting their income to Hasbro. Those who have $750,000 in revenue or more will need to start paying a royalty to Hasbro. And there are other terms in the license agreement which have not yet been announced. Any or all of this, of course, might still change. And what the final form of this 1.1 license will be is something that we can really only speculate about. Will it have one or more poison pills? Will it give Hasbro the right to make unilateral changes to the license or otherwise be recoverable? As we look back over the history of the OGL, it seems less we're in a period of time quite similar to 2008. New leadership has taken control of Wizards. They have a new edition coming out. Corporate leadership is calling for increased monetization of the D&D property. After hemming and hawing, Wizards has been forced to make a public statement about the future of the open gaming license. And what we know for certain right now is that their intention is for 1D&D to be less open than 5th edition. How much less open it will be, an unanswered question. So, like, now you see why I was kind of like, they kind of threw on that crypto in that article on Polygon there to kind of like bury the lead here. What it really seems to hurt is like third party and the openness of the next edition of D&D, right? Like, if you make 50,000, like if you use their license to make 50,000 in related revenue, I have to report my income to Hasbro. But man, that seems like, is Hasbro the government? I have to report my money to them because I made some money off of the OGL related revenue. You know what I mean?
Oh man, that's funny.
Like there is some stuff in here. And listen, guys, this is just, I'm a simple man reading this, right? So when I look at that, I'm like, that just seems ridiculous to me. Maybe it doesn't to other people that understand the legalese of it. I wish there was somebody smarter than me that could really break down to what this really means. I'm sorry I'm not educated enough on it. But it seems a little ridiculous to me, personally. Like, they're gonna... I don't know, the openness of D&D is like one of the things we love, and limiting that to people kind of hurts a little bit. Like, Not gonna lie. And running companies, you might think, who's gonna make $50,000? Who's gonna make $750,000 in revenue? There's big companies out there, man, and they have to pay a lot of people when they make and they have to make a profit and they have to pay taxes and all of that. Like in the vision, like in terms of business, 50 grand and 750 grand, really not that much before you have to start kind of having to report things to Hasbro, huh? So I recommend checking out that entire article. It goes into the history. It talks about some of the failed editions of past D&D and some of the mistakes that were made. And it feels like some of those mistakes are going to be made again with this next edition of D&D. But no matter what, I have 5th edition. So I'm not super worried about it. And all those old content creators will probably also have 5th edition. And from my understanding, they could keep making content for that edition of D&D. It's a very complicated thing. So that's kind of all I have to say on it. I know it was a lot, and I know like it wasn't like the most educated things being said by me, but if you want an educated person, go read the article on the Alexandrian.net. Posted it in the chat. It's an interesting read, even if you're not super into D&D. Talks a bit about the history of those previous editions, man. That's kind of all I have to say on it, DT. I know that was a little long-winded for gaming news, but we didn't have a whole lot, so
Oh
I
yeah, it's
figured.
fun.
But yeah, you ready to move on, my friend, to the next bit of news?
Yes. Yes. So TV news it is.
TV news time, gang.
All right. Ready?
Ready.
All right. First, we only got a few things on here, but first one we're going to talk about is the Witcher team is aiming to give Henry Cavill the most heroic send off, in their words. He announced in October that season 3 would be his last as Geralt of Rivia. Liam Hemsworth set to replace him on the show. Although the upcoming third season of Netflix's The Witcher wasn't written as a farewell, the show's team is doing all it can to give the actor a proper exit. Um, Series creator Lauren Schmidt Hisrick told Entertainment Weekly in an interview published online that season 3, which is set to debut in summer of 2023, will provide the most heroic send-off possible for the departing star. Netflix announced in October that Cavill is exiting the television project, with Liam Hemsworth set to take over for season 4. Henry has given so much to the show, and so we want to honor that appropriately, the showrunner said. She went on to tease that actress Freya Allen's portrayal of Ciri, the Crown Princess of Sintra, in the upcoming episodes. Geralt's big turn is about giving up neutrality and doing anything that he has to do to get to Ciri. And to me, it's the most heroic send off that we could have, even though it wasn't written to be that. Geralt has a new mission in mind when we come back to him in season 4. He's a slightly different Geralt than we expected. Now, by the way, that's an understatement. Ain't it though? Um, Hisrick also added that season 3 will include a number of key moments from the book Time of Contempt. Obviously, we can't do every page, but Time of Contempt gave us so many big action events, plot points, defining character moments, huge reveals of a big bad. She said, "There's so much that we want, so much to do that we were able to stick to really, really closely with the books." Um, so yeah, that's what they had to say about season 3. I will say that I just like I'm not really the most or I haven't been the most invested in the show. You guys know how I feel about it. If you have seen our reviews of seasons 1 and 2, you'll know that I haven't been the biggest fan of the show. My favorite thing about the show was Henry Cavill, and now he's leaving. So I will be honest with you guys. Now I really don't care. I don't even know if I want to watch season 3. I mean, I might just because that'll be his last go at Geralt, but I don't really have the you know really desire to be honest. But yeah, I mean, it's cool that they're giving him a I guess in her words, a proper send off. But we'll see how that translates to in the show. But yeah, I don't know anything to add on to this, Josh, or do you not care either?
I don't really care all that much, to be honest with you. I'm gonna have a hard time watching the next season if I even do. I feel like the creators of the show, not the actors, but the creators of the show really fucking failed with the Witcher fan base, the Witcher universe, the Witcher creator in general. I feel
Yeah,
like Netflix fucking failed telling them to kind of do their own story. That's fucking stupid. Why'd you buy the rights to The Witcher? You're fucking dumb. Um, which is why you have to cancel everything all the time. I guess because you don't know how to run a fucking television show. I guess. Like The Witcher. Um, so all around failures for everybody except the actors. I think the actors are fine. Way to go, guys. We can move on.
yeah. All right, moving on to the next thing, which is Charlie Cox talking a little bit about Daredevil Born Again. He says Daredevil Born Again will be dark, but probably won't be as gory as a Netflix show. In an interview with NME, Charlie Cox uh, also said that well, he believes that this character works best when he's geared toward a slightly more mature audience. Other things will be different. Will definitely be different. My instinct is that on Disney Plus it will be dark, but it probably won't be as gory. He said. I would say he's aware of the fans' expectations, but argues that pulling back on some of the violence and making the character show more accessible to a wider audience may not be a bad thing. So this is what he says to people. He says, "I would say to those people, we've done that. Let's take the things that really worked, but can we broaden? Can we appeal to a slightly younger audience without losing what we've learned about what works?" Uh, he also says that Uh, Kevin talks about it as being a season one rather than a season four. And my feeling is that this is a whole new deal. So for people wondering if it was kind of like continuation of that, the Netflix show, it won't be. It's more of like a reset, which we kind of figured. I mean, I figured, right? But yeah, just cool seeing them talk about it. Which that show's coming out in 2024 an 18 episode premiere. I still think, or an 18 episode season. I mean, I think that's nuts that they're doing 18 episodes for Daredevil, especially considering a lot of the other shows only have like 6 to 8 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
They're giving them fucking 18. That's insane. But anyway, the last piece of news that I have here, uh, for the TV news is that George R. R. Martin, George R. R. Martin said that some of the Game of Thrones spin-offs have been shelved at HBO. Uh, this is what uh, he had to say on his blog. He said that a couple of the spin-offs, potential spin-offs, have been shelved, though others remain in active development. He's on his blog. He wrote that all the changes at HBO, he attributed all the delays to all the changes at HBO Max. He wrote that he's working on several of the other Game of Thrones successor shows that they're developing with HBO. Some of those are moving faster than others, as is always the case with development. None have been greenlit yet, though they are hoping maybe soon. A couple have been shelved, but I would not agree that they are dead. You could take something off the shelf as easily as you put it on the shelf. All the changes at HBO Max have impacted us certainly. He didn't identify which of the potential spinoffs were affected, and HBO did not comment on it either. But we know that they have several or multiple projects in the Game of Thrones universe. Um, in development. Uh, they're focusing on some animated, or they want to do some animated stuff as well. Uh, One of them would focus on the Golden Empire of Yeti, located on the continent of Essos in Martin's fantasy world. Uh, Another Game of Thrones spinoff would be obviously the sequel to Game of Thrones, which would be focused on Jon Snow, where Kit Harington has been attached to reprise his role. He's also going to be, very involved with that one. And I know in the past that we also had brought up that they want to do like a Dunk and Egg one and a few other things, but I mean, we'll see what happens. With the I think everybody was kind of, well, I'm not gonna say everybody because I know there were some people that did like the ending of Game of Thrones, but I certainly was not one of them. But I think for the most part, generally people were disappointed with the end way Game of Thrones ended, and
Hmm.
then we were kind of brought back with how good House of the Dragon was. So if they can keep it on, if they can make it as good as like season one of House of the Dragon is, and I think they'll be fine with some of the stuff going forward. But it just depends, right? I mean, I don't know. Like,
Yeah,
I
I
for
agree.
one, I am not the most knowledgeable on the Game of Thrones House of or what is it, the Song of Fire and Ice universe. Like, I've only seen the show in its entirety once, and yeah, I don't know a whole lot about it. Like, I know there's other people out there that have read the books and all that. I haven't, so I only know what's on the shows. Um, but yeah. So I don't know which ones would be good to make and which ones wouldn't. I just go off of what we know is coming or what they were planning to do. But I mean, like I said, if they can make it like House of the Dragon level good, then we'll be Gucci. But yeah, I don't know. Hopefully, they they do make some other ones that hopefully will also be good. But yeah, you got anything to add on to this?
Not really. Like I can't. Well, my add-on is like I just you take the words right out of my mouth. Like if they make any spin-offs they do as good as season one of House of the Dragon, then they'll be good. And if they don't do that, if they make it like the original Game of Thrones ending, it'll be shit. Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. So hope it's
That's
maybe
maybe
good.
she
Hope it's maybe
right.
good. Hope because I enjoyed House of the Dragon a lot. You know, we were cautiously optimistic, and they kind of hit
And
it out of the park there. So,
yeah, I think they knocked it out of the park for sure. Yeah.
and the fact that Patty wasn't fucking nominated for a damn award is
Robbed.
fucking robbery. What it is.
Robbed that man.
It's
He deserves
wrong.
something.
He
I don't know
does.
what
He
he
was
deserved, but he
fantastic.
deserves something. He was so good.
All right. Movie news time.
Yes.
All right. Swapping over.
On to the
What?
movie news. We only got a few things here. So let's go ahead and do that. First thing we got here on the movie news is that Black Adam 2 is not moving forward as a part of DC's first chapter. Dwayne Johnson says he connected with James Gunn and will seek to use the character down. So Dwayne Johnson wrote in a statement. Um, this is a from a tweet that was on Twitter. He said, "My passionate friends, I wanted to give you a long-awaited Black Adam update regarding the character's future in the new DC universe. James Gunn and I connected, and Black Adam will not be in their first chapter of storytelling. However, DC and Seven Bucks have agreed to continue exploring the most valuable ways Black Adam can be utilized in the future DC multiverse chapters. James and I have known each other for years and have always rooted for each other to succeed. It's no different now, and I'll always root for DC and Marvel to win big. You guys know me, and I have very thick skin, and you can always count on me to be direct with my words. These decisions made by James and DC leadership represent their vision of the DCU and through their creative lens. After 15 years of relentless hard work to finally make Black Adam, I'm very proud of the film we delivered for fans worldwide. I'll always look back on the fan reactions of Black Adam with tremendous gratitude, humility, and love. We did great. To my very passionate and vocal Black Adam superhero genre fans, I love you. Thank you. I'll always listen to you and do my best to deliver and entertain you. What a hell of a month. Uh, have a productive week and happy holidays to you and your family. So that was his kind of uh statement message on the social medias. Um, going forward, you know, when The Rock kept saying that thing that he kept saying when they were marketing the movie, what was it like? They're gonna the the what was the exact phrase? It was like something
Oh,
like the the power balance or the power shift of the DC universe is about to change. He shouldn't have said that so much because they changed the leadership of DC, and now all kinds of shit's going on, man. The hierarchy, right? The
you
hierarchy
see,
of power. That's what it
you
was.
see what happens. You see what happens when you believe too hard, Kane.
He said the hierarchy of power of the DC power is about to change, and it really did, and it really did in real life. So now he got fucked, and Henry Cavill got fucked, and so a bunch of crazy shit's going on over there right now. Uh, so yeah, I still haven't seen Black Adam yet. I want to watch it soon, so I can finally have that one seen. I've been meaning to watch it, but I just been busy, man. Um, but it's on HBO Max now, so I do want to check it out. But yeah, I don't know. So Josh, you've seen it though. Do you think forget about even the leadership at DC changing and anything.
Mhm.
Having seen Black Adam, would you say that movie, again, regardless of anything else that has happened, do you think that movie was even worthy of having a sequel to begin with, or do you not care that they're like whatever,
I
they just
think
bring him
so.
back whenever they do?
I
Yeah.
think it could have had a sequel. Yeah.
Okay.
Right now, what I see is like they're like, we're not gonna do it right now. But what if in the
Yeah.
future they had like old Dwayne Johnson be old Black Adam or something? Like that's immediately what I thought. I was like, what if he grew a goatee and was like all gray and like that'd be kind of cool, like or something like that. I
Yeah.
look. We laugh and joke about it, and I know a lot of people kind of got turned off by The Rock and how vocal he was on parts of it. But we also got to think he was such a fan of that character, and I
True.
can
Yeah.
understand the disappointment of it. I
But
can
also
understand that. Even if I don't agree with
but
it, I can understand it.
but also he tried to do some really weird stuff, like why are you Black Adam, who is a villain of Shazam, not trying to fight Shazam, but trying to skip over Shazam and fight Superman? That to me is kind of weird. Like he just wanted to I'm the Rock and I'm playing Black Adam, and I don't give a shit about Shazam, even though Black Adam is typically a villain of his. I just want to go to the big boy himself, Superman, right off the bat. Again, I think it's another problem that the DC universe has had in the movies up until this point, is that they're trying to skip steps to get to the top, and it's just not hitting, the way it should, because you're skipping steps. The reason Marvel has become the way it has is because it's built up to this point. You need to build up to things. You can't just go from nothing and then expect to be at the top. You know what I mean? It's just not how that works.
I
So
think part of it
I,
is that Zachary Levi and The Rock are just they're two different power levels. Is kind of how I view it, and I think The Rock sees it that way. Even if we don't see it that way, we see it as the two heroes, right? Like we see
yeah.
Shazam, Black Adam, they should fight. I can't see The Rock, Zachary Levi. Those guys should fight because they're just on two different levels.
Yeah, I mean that's just casting's fault too, man. Like I know like The Rock is already a big dude naturally, and Zachary Levi needed like a muscle suit or whatever the fuck. But it's
Well,
like, oh
that's the thing.
man,
Zachary Levi is actually pretty big though. Like if you watch, I saw him in the football movie, American Underdog or whatever it's fucking called. Like he's pretty big in that movie. I was like, Maybe that suit isn't all fake muscles because he's kind of got
I
the
mean,
same shape.
yeah, I mean, it's probably not, but like they still needed to use like
But The
one like
Rock's a
something.
different level. Like
That's true, yeah.
that's
But
just
yeah, I don't know,
like I
man.
said, totally different level. Like he is juicing. Let's be real. That's not natural. Like he's a big dude. Like
He's a big motherfucker.
like it just and I'm The Rock just feels like a bigger superstar because I mean he is like he came from wrestling and has built this whole brand as a movie star now, and it's just so uneven, right? But I feel like him and Cavill are kind of on the same level, and Zachary Levi is just a few leagues down. But the heroes that they're playing should be on the same level. I don't know. It just feels when you look at them side by side, they just look so different. It's weird to me. But who knows? They
Yeah, I
probably
don't
could
know,
have. They could
man.
have wrote it. They could have made a good movie with it. Like I could do a good movie with it. Like I'm just speaking as somebody looking from looks only, not from writing or creating. Right? Like,
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. You could always like it's these people's jobs to make it work, you know, like
hmm
regardless of whatever. But I don't know, man. Anyway, the point is they're resetting and we're getting a whole new, universe because that's what James Gunn and Peter Safran are wanting to do. They're wanting to reboot and restart it all up again from the ground up, I guess,
remember,
which
remember when they said they were gonna like, we don't like him for this role, but we'll recast. One dude as Lobo. We'll put fucking
yeah,
Momoa as Lobo,
Jason
and I'm just like,
Momoa as
I
Lobo.
don't want that. I would hate if they started recasting these actors that have been in other roles, and here they're in the DC universe again, but they're playing this other character. I'm sorry, I fucking hate that idea. Don't do that.
I mean, that's what the Henry said too, right? They're like, oh, they want to bring me in for something else eventually, maybe. So not only Jason Momoa, but for him too. I mean, we'll see what happens, man. We'll
That
see.
that feels like such a please don't be mad now. We hope you forget this later. Kind of like you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like we'll
like
push it off.
you're already established as this character here now, but we want to kind of go in a different direction. Like Jason Momoa, we know that you made Aquaman a cool guy after he's been a little bitch almost the entirety of his existence, but we want to go in a different direction. I think we looked at Google and then you look like Lobo, so we're gonna make you Lobo. And then Henry Cavill, we want to we want to go with another Superman, even though you're the perfect Superman. We want to go younger. We want to tell a story about him and at the Daily Planet again, even though we've seen that a million times. But you know, we just want to go in a different direction. But also don't be mad at us.
and
We'll give you another character down the line, even though you'll be much older.
and meanwhile, we're not even gonna say shit about Ezra Miller and their whole giant debacle that they refused to talk about at all. Like, it's like we're not gonna have Henry Cavill as Superman anymore. We're not gonna have Jason Momoa as Aquaman. The Rock isn't
Yeah,
gonna be Black Adam. Meanwhile, nobody
has
says shit about Ezra Miller as the Flash.
has anybody asked them about that? Because I honestly don't know. I haven't looked into that. Because like I sometimes I go on Twitter and then people ask James Gunn shit and he replies to stuff. I don't know if anybody. I mean, probably. I guess somebody has to have asked him, which means he probably just hasn't responded to any of that. Then
I imagine.
yeah, I don't know. That's I don't know, man. I don't know.
They ain't gonna say shit till that movie comes out. Probably. I don't know.
Probably. I'm sure they're ready for it because they took the job, but we'll see.
Uh, let's move on.
Yes. So that was the DC Black Adam news. Moving on, we have some casting news, and that is that Gabriel Byrne has been cast in the John Wick spinoff Ballerina from Lionsgate. He's joining Ian McShane, Angelica Houston, Lance Reddick, Catalina Sandino Moreno, and Norman Reedus in the ensemble cast. So we're building up quite a cast here for the Ballerina movie, which again is a spinoff to the John Wick movies, joining that universe. I'm liking the cast here.
Yeah,
We're adding on to some.
I like Gabriel.
yeah, we're adding some talent onto this cast and this universe. So we're very curious to see, you know, what we'll be doing here. But producer Brady uh, Iwanek said in a statement that for decades, Gabriel's mysterious and enigmatic presence has enriched dozens of films. You can never be quite sure what he's thinking, and that's perfect for this world. Uh, so yeah, that is pretty cool. I think he's a good. I think he's a good actor. I think the last thing I saw him in was like Hereditary. Um, but yeah, he's good. What's up? You're laughing at something?
I looked over at the sidebar of behind the fall of Henry Cavill Superman of the
Oh,
James Gunn photo.
yeah, that Photoshop. Yeah, yeah.
It was making me laugh. That was all.
It's
And
yeah.
I was thinking somebody's watching the show. They put that there just because we were just talking about that. That's what I was laughing at.
That's
It's a
funny. That is pretty
Photoshop.
funny. Yeah. All right. The last piece of news we got here is some Deadpool 3 news. Hugh Jackman teases Wolverine and Deadpool hate each other in the new movie. In a recent interview, Jackman was asked to categorize the status of the relationship between the two superheroes. On the Empire Film Podcast, he said, "How do I categorize it? 10 being really close, 0 being the reality. We're 0. We're opposites. I hate each other." I'm talking just from perspective. Logan's frustrated by him, wants to be a million miles away from him, or wants to punch him in the head. Unfortunately, he can't be a million miles away from him in this movie, so I'm probably gonna have to punch him in the head a lot. He also talked about how they were able to bring back Wolverine and how they integrate him in the MCU, assuring fans that Deadpool 3 wouldn't mess with the Logan timeline. All because of this device they have in the Marvel world of moving around timelines. Now we can go back because it's science, so I don't have to screw with the Logan timeline, which is important to me, and I think probably to the fans too.
That movie's
So yeah,
fantastic.
it really is. It's my favorite of the X-Men Fox movies because I'll be honest, I don't really like those movies a whole lot. But
X2 was good. The other ones
that
were.
one is the best one. That one and the first Deadpool are like my two favorites. But anyway, yeah, that's that is all
Mm.
for the movie news and the news in general. That is, ladies and gentlemen, that is the last news for 2022. That is it.
Last
That'll do it.
news. Do you need a break or do you just want to keep rolling?
No, I think we just keep rolling.
Let's
If you
keep
don't need
rolling.
one,
I don't
then
need
let's
one.
keep it
I'm
going.
good. Let's keep going. No
Let's get her
break.
done.
All right. We move in the
Uh,
second half of the show, gang. I'm gonna go ahead and flip our
so
text over.
we're gonna go ahead and do it. This is just gonna
That
be.
is
We're just gonna recap the
not a retro
year.
rewatch. That's my bad. Let me fix that.
No. That'll be sometime next month. But yeah.
Give me 2 seconds.
2022 year. We're just gonna recap the year, guys. So that's what we're gonna do here. Look back at it,
I gotta
and
open our
yeah,
spreadsheet too.
yes.
All right. Let me get that open. First of all, let me open up the list of shows we did this year.
Go ahead and
Open
do
up
that.
the spreadsheet. All right, DT. What was our first show of 2022?
So
Let's look here.
before we do that,
Yes, what would you like to discuss?
for those of you who don't know, Josh and I at the beginning of the year, uh, thought before even that, at the end of last year, we decided to kind of go into this year with the idea of like, let's make a spreadsheet of, and for both of us, like we'll have a section for Josh, I have a section for him, I'll have a section for me, where we will talk about like, or not talk about, but just like mark down all of the things that we watched or played throughout the year. So we did that, and throughout the year, we've just been writing down or jotting down stuff that we've watched and played. So we have one for TVs or for games, movies, and TV shows, right? And yeah, here it is. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. So we jotted all that stuff down, and here's the list. I don't know if you wanna show them, Josh, or not,
I'll
but
show you. I'll show them the list.
yeah,
I have no
if
issue
you wanna
showing the
show them
list.
the
As you guys can
little
see,
like
DT
spreadsheet
creamed
we got
me
there.
in
I
a number of things.
I watched I started off the year really strong, and then I kind of slowed down like halfway through the year, and I barely watched stuff here and there. But yeah, I tr- tried to do better with that. But anyway, what do you want to start with here first?
So
Like,
the first thing I'm going to tell you is I'm just going to number off how many things I watched.
okay,
I played. Sorry, I played, watched, and watched. So I played a total of 47 games. It says 48 on here. That's because row one is the titles. So 47 games, 50 movies, and 40. What row am I on? 41 television shows. How about you, DT? How many games, movies, total? What are your totals here?
so my totals. Let's see. I watched. How
A
many
lot
games
more
did I
than
play?
me.
I played
A lot more than me.
61 games today, or this year. 61, right? No, 62.
60, yeah, 60, yeah, 60, no, 63.
Oh, 63. Yeah, okay. So I played 63 games this year. I watched 114 movies,
Yeah.
and that's not even counting stuff I've rewatched. I put some of the stuff in here, but not even like I didn't put
Yeah,
everything.
I didn't put all the any rewatch stuff, but you destroyed me in movies, bro. Like
And then
wrecked.
how many shows did I watch? Like 50? 50 shows? Yeah, I watched like 50 shows this year. So that
That's
is
pretty good.
that's
That's
all the
pretty
things.
good.
Yeah, yeah. I watched a lot of movies, man. 114. That's pretty good. I think.
Destroyed me.
Even then though, I slowed down. I could have watched so much
Yeah, I
more.
know. I remember there was a long streak there where you didn't really watch much, and you still destroyed me. But my thing is
Yeah.
like, you watched a lot of like stuff you haven't seen before, and I feel like I watch a lot of the same shit over and over again, so I don't write it down a lot of the time,
Yeah.
personally. But yeah, you destroyed me. You wrecked me in movies, that's for sure.
I watched a lot of good movies this year. A lot of good ones, a lot of ones that I didn't really care for.
You know what's
But
interesting is
what's that?
our shows are pretty close because we watched a lot of shows together, right?
That's true. Yeah.
So you still beat me in some because there's some things I don't watch, like you did Better Call Saul and stuff. And
So good, man. So fucking good. If you guys haven't seen Better Call Saul, you're missing out.
that was just something I thought of when I was sitting here, like looking at our two lists. I was like, DT and I watched a lot of these like together.
Shows, yeah, for the
And
most part.
there's some on my list that you haven't seen. Like I don't think you haven't watched Tokyo Vice, have you?
No, I haven't seen that one.
Oh, you should definitely check that out.
Haven't seen that or The Offer or
Oh, The
The
Office.
Bear. Yeah, there's some that you've seen that I haven't. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Do you want to pick tops from like each category?
Tops? Yeah. We'll do that. We'll give like a
do you want
top.
to do
What,
top
like
3, 5, whatever you
I was
want?
gonna
Do
say
whatever you
like
want.
top. Yeah, I was gonna say like top 5. That'll work because 10 is too much, but we'll do
Yeah,
top
10's
5.
too much. Yeah, we'll do top 5s. Okay, I'll go first.
So
Or if
yeah,
you
go
want,
for it.
'cause that way we're
Oh, yeah,
going
yeah,
left
go
to
ahead.
right.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll do my games and you do your games, and then my movies, your movies, and my shows, your shows. How about that?
Sure. Yeah.
All right. Top 5 games that I had fun with this year. Let's see here. I'm gonna put the Division 2 at number 5. I had a lot of fun playing, and this isn't from this year, obviously. This is just things I played this year.
Things we played this year, yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna put the Division 2 at number 5. I got super addicted to it. It was a lot of fun. I had a really good time with it. Um, Number four, I'm gonna have to put Expeditions Rome was a surprise for me. I'd never played any of the Expeditions game, but it was like XCOM, but Romans, and you have an army and they do battles, and it's really cool, man. It's really cool. Number three. What would be my number three here? Let me look here. Um, number three. Number three. Project Zomboid at the start of the year. You know, like we had so much fun playing Project Zomboid that it was kind of crazy. Like we played a lot of it, didn't we, DT? Like right at the start, right? It was in January, because we did our Steam recaps.
Yeah.
And then
I even then though,
yep,
I don't think I played as much of it as others did. I played a little bit, but not a
I
whole
was
lot.
mad hooked on it. It was nuts. Um, Number two, Marvel's Midnight Suns. Like, it was fantastic. It was great. And the only reason it's not my number one is it had technical issues that were really bad. Uh, the Nuvo and the 2K launcher really just, oh, you fucked it up. You'd have been number one, man.
You
But
fucked it up.
my number one's gonna be Elden Ring, man. Like, and the reason why is like it pulled me, who never plays these types of games, into playing it, right?
Yeah.
And I had a lot of fun with it. I was super addicted to it for a long time. I just had so much fun playing it, which is like, I'm never gonna play those Dark Soul type games. I don't know if I like that, you know, like, you know, and it's it it's the reason that it just pulled me in, man. Like that's the reason why. Like it got me, even though I'm not like the craziest one to play those types of things, right? So
Mhm.
that's kind of like why I'm gonna go with that. So,
Yeah, it's a solid pick for sure.
what numbers here?
Game of the year also, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay, so my top 5 is kind of I had to like, so my number 5 is kind of split between two games,
Hmm.
but they're the same type of game in the same series, so that's why I put them in together. So if we're doing from 5 to 1, at my number 5 I have a tie of two games, Sniper Elite 4 and Sniper Elite 5,
Oh man.
because of the fact that you and I had a blast playing
Yeah, we
co-oping those
did.
games.
It was so
So
good.
so I had to give I have to give those two games a number 5 because we
Hey,
had such a good time
it
doing
was so
those.
much fun playing those with you, my friend.
It really was. It was a good time. So that's my number 5. Um, my number 4, play a Plague Tale Requiem. Fantastic game, so well done. It's a shame that it came out in a year where God of War Ragnarok and Elden Ring also came out in, because that is a strong game that I feel like did not get enough love at the Game Awards or any at all, but it's a really good game. Um, so definitely, if you haven't played either one of them, they're both great. But I played Tale Requiem that came out this year. It was fantastic. That's my number 4. My number 3 is Elden Ring, because much like Josh, I also was not a person who plays those types of games, but the satisfaction of not only never really having played one of those games, but also beating it and streaming it all together, is kind of awesome. So I got that satisfaction of being like, well, I finally played through one of these from start to finish. I beat it. I got a good ending. I did pretty good. I was whooping ass. There was times where I was be playing the game, and I'd have like Phenom or somebody in the chat get salty because I killed the boss they took forever to kill, you know, and I'm just like, whooping ass like it's nothing. So that was a lot of fun. Having finally done that. So yeah, Elden Ring Game of the Year is my number 3. My number 2 is Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. I had a fucking fantastic time playing that game. Um, love Star Wars. Obviously, love the Lego games, and I was really looking forward to this one. And it's up there for me in terms of like my favorite games of the year. Not only that I played this year, but that also came out this year. I really loved playing that one. Um, yeah, I really enjoyed it. I need to get the DLC for the bonus characters that came out. Because yeah, I love that game. And then my number one is Fortnite. I have to say because I didn't think I'd be saying this, but I've I've I
Hey.
have since May, dude. I've been like hooked on this game, and I've been playing like pretty much like almost nonstop. I've been getting all the things, in it and doing all the quests and getting the skins and fucking the battle completing the battle passes and all that. So Zero Build has been really fun playing that. And yeah, man, what a year. What a year for games and that was my number one game for me that I played this year because it's just like I said, since May I've just been on it like nonstop pretty much. So I've had a great time playing that one and I could play it alone or I could play it with friends and it's just a lot of fun. So definitely had to put that one up at my number one. But there's a lot of good games this year. A lot of them that I haven't even played yet that came out this year. And then there's others that I just have on my list that I haven't played yet. And then there are other games in here that were solid that I played that I didn't necessarily you know that weren't in my top five, but that were also really really good. Like um Evil Dead was another fun little like multiplayer game, and Doom Eternal was fun, and Trek to Yomi was in moments good, and like a Team and T-Shirters Revenge, The Quarry was good.
Yeah, there's a
Fucking
lot of
that.
good stuff.
Yeah, a lot of cool stuff. Assassin's Creed Liberation for like a shorter Assassin's Creed game. The Outer Worlds was really cool too. Like it's sort of that like Fallout like kind of style game that I really enjoyed. That wasn't super long, but I felt like it was like a good length for those type of games. Terminator Resistance. Anyway, I could go on, but there's a lot of like honorable mentions that I have that I played this year that were really cool.
Yeah, Sniper Elites are definitely my honorable mention. Like anything I play with DT, like anything we play together and stream together and and we get clippable moments and laughs out of,
Some solid clips from that, yeah.
like it's just like the best, Like it really like we did Dying Light this year. Like the
Yeah,
fucking like the clip of me shooting that guy from your point of view, like will go down in infamy. It cracks me up every time I see it. You're just
for sure.
like, God damn, like and it just goes flying away. Like, oh my goodness. All right, so I'm gonna do my movies now. I guess if you're done with, are you done with your games, DT? Is that all
I
you
am,
wanted to say?
yes. Yes, yes, yes. That's
Okay,
all I had to say.
so not every movie that not every movie I'm gonna name came out this year, but I saw it for the first time this year.
Yeah.
Number 5, The Maltese Falcon. I had so much fun watching that old ass 1940s noir movie, and it's best because I watched it with friends like DT and I think Bigfoot. I can't remember who all watched The Maltese Falcon with us, but I think
Probably,
Bigfoot was
yeah.
there. Um, uh, so that's my number 5. My number 4 is gonna be Ghostbusters Afterlife. It was the first movie I saw in the theaters this year. It was still in the theaters, and I got to go catch it right before it went out of the theaters. That movie is fantastic. I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was really, really good. Um, my next like 3 picks, I feel like any of them could be like tied for like number 1. I don't feel like it's ranked, to be honest with you. I feel like they're all tied, and I know that's
Yeah.
like a cop out answer. Um, but number 3 is gonna be The Northman.
Mm,
I like The
that's a
Northman a
good one.
lot. I saw it in theaters. I really enjoyed it. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but I was really looking forward to it, and I enjoyed it. I love, especially after playing like Elden Ring and kind of seeing like seeing some kind of parallels to between the two, and like it just felt that kind of like that kind of movie. Um, that's my that's I guess 3. Really, it's tied for first. Number 2 is the Batman. I enjoyed the fuck out of the Batman. It was cool to see um Battinson. Like they're
Yeah.
all like, give him a chance, he's gonna be great, and he was.
and he
Um,
killed it. He was
yeah,
fantastic.
absolute fantastic. So that's on there, and then my number one's gonna be Top Gun Maverick. I enjoyed Top Gun Maverick a lot. I didn't expect a lot from it. I was emotional at times. It was a fantastic movie. I got to see it in the theaters, which really added to getting to see it. Um, and so yeah, that's kind of like my top five. There was a lot of good movies I saw for the first time this year, or it felt like the first time I had seen some of them. Like we did like the Evil Dead movies. I'd seen those for like if I'd seen it before, I was so young I don't remember seeing it, so that was cool to see. There's a lot of Tom Hanks on my list. I feel like as well. Like oh, Prey, fucking Prey. How did I
Prey was
forget
awesome.
Prey? Throw
Prey was
Prey
so
on
good.
there. Prey on that list somehow. Throw it at the top. That was fit. That was like I don't know what to expect from this movie, and it, bro, blew our fucking minds how good it was. Like
It was awesome. It was really
I'm
fucking
giving
sick.
I'm giving Prey honorary number one too. God damn it, that's those are some good movies out there, and I ain't gonna sit here and fight over picking them. Oh,
No, yeah, as you were doing yours, I don't know if
I'm
was that
done.
your last one?
You can move on. Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead.
So as you were doing your list, I'm like, there's no way that I could give a top 5 because I watched too many movies this year to do that.
Yeah,
So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go down my list and I'm just gonna name off ones that I really enjoyed. So
gotcha. That's fair.
um
That's what I should have
Taxi
done.
Driver was fucking awesome. I watched that for the first time early this year, and it was so good. I really enjoyed it. That was awesome. King of Comedy was also really good. Minari was also fantastic. If you haven't seen that, Minari was awesome. Overlord was a fun movie. If you haven't seen it, definitely recommend that one. Free Guy was really fun, man.
Yeah, Free Guy was good.
If you haven't seen Free Guy, it's a fun movie. We watched the Daniel Craig James Bond movies this year, and Casino Royale. Oh, fantastic, great. Uh, what else on here? What did I say that I really enjoyed? Um, The King's Man was fun. At least I enjoyed it. Skyfall I rewatched, so that one, obviously James Bond, good stuff. The Batman 2022 came out this year. Honestly, my favorite movie that came out this year that I watched in the theaters and all that. Like it's my movie of the year for 2022. I love the
That's
Batman.
fair.
It was fantastic. It was so well done. I can't wait to see the sequel and the future of that specific universe of DC. Uh Deadwood the movie I appreciate because the ending of the series kind of just ended and you're like, What? Is that it, huh?"
Yeah,
And then we finally get closure in the Deadwood movie. So I appreciate it for that. Coda was fantastic. Came out in 2021, but I finally watched it. That was great. Uh, really wholesome movie. No Time to Die. Saw Daniel Craig's final James Bond. Uh, Watched Willow for the first time. It was pretty fun for like an older movie. Um, The Northman. Really good movie. I really enjoyed that one. Uh, Fresh was very very interesting as for a horror movie. X was another fantastic horror movie. Um, Prey. I mean, Josh already said it was fucking amazing. Morbius. I'm just kidding. Not Morbius. Fuck Morbius.
I was like, oh, he's got to mention Morbius, right? The
Yeah,
movie of the
yeah.
year,
Nah, that movie's dog shit. Don't the
baddest movie of the year.
Princess Mononoke. I rewatched for the first time. Fucking
Oh,
loved it. One of my
so
favorite like
good.
anime movies. Now it's so good. Top Gun Maverick, also fantastic. Da 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 da.
Yeah.
Cowboy Bebop, the movie. I love the show, so I finally got to watch the movie, and it was just so well done. Um. What else? What else?
Evil dies tonight.
No, fuck that
Like
movie.
like any
Pearl.
good movie, like any good list, there's some stinkers on here.
Yeah. I watched a lot of different movies. Pearl was good. If you haven't seen that, it's the prequel to X. Barbarian was interesting. Tucker and Dale versus Evil was just awesome. That movie was really really fun. Bullet Train is like one of my surprise movies of the year with how much fun that movie is.
I
If you
need to
haven't seen
see
Bullet
that.
Train, strongly recommend. It's such a fun movie and it's so good. I love it's one of my favorite movies of the year. I love it. I really
Yeah,
do.
that's fair.
Last of the Mohicans was pretty cool. Open Range was like one of my like probably like one of the biggest surprises for me with how much I loved it. Like I'd never seen that movie, but it was fucking awesome. I swear to you, I kid you not. I literally played Red Dead like the day after because I was like, this movie made me want to be a cowboy again.
Hit it out of the park with that movie when I picked it.
Yes, and then also Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. I really love that movie. Love seeing Namor and all that. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it was a lot of good movies this year, and that I watched that came out this year and that didn't come out this year, and I couldn't name them all, but I had to just threw some out there. So yeah, a lot of good stuff.
All right.
That's our movies.
Yeah. TV shows. I'm not gonna number them. I'm gonna do what DT did because like that's like the best way to do it. I think
Yeah.
just because we have so much anyway, and like, uh,
Yep.
we Cobra Kai season 4 was at the start of the year. Um, I think right. Yeah, because I got Cobra Kai season 5 down here. Like I got confused because we got Cobra Kai 2 seasons same year. I'm gonna encapsulate both seasons. I love this show. It's so good. It's the best. If you ever watched Cobra Kai, what the fuck's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? I enjoyed it. Book of Boba Fett. I had a good time with Book of Boba Fett. Was it perfect? No, but it's Star Wars and I loved it. I love Star Wars, so enjoyed that. I watched a lot of Star Trek Classic and Star Trek The Next Generation in a group watch. I've seen it all before, but I was watching it with other friends here. Hold up. Let me delay these ads for a little bit, guys. That way you don't get ads while we're talking. Ted Lasso.
Oh man,
Finally got to
so
dip our
good.
toes in the Ted Lasso. Hadn't seen it, but heard people talk about it. All caught up on it and enjoyed it a lot. Yellowstone season 4 I enjoyed quite a bit. I just realized that I'm the next like several lines I'm gonna be talking about. So Yellowstone was good. Check it out if you haven't seen Yellowstone. The Silent Sea was on Netflix. Was a surprise for me. I enjoyed that quite a bit. It's kind of horror. Yeah, I guess it is horror-ish. But I recommend checking it out. It's like the sci-fi. It had to be at the start of the year because it feels like it was ages ago when I watched it.
Yeah.
Peacemaker was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that. John Cena's fantastic and hilarious. That showed us a lot of things that I wasn't expecting. The Legend of Vox Machina. It was really trippy to see like I've watched those guys play D&D at a table to wow, there's animated characters based on those guys we watch play at the table, and they're also voiced by those guys because they're voice actors, guys and gals. So fantastic show. Reacher, if you haven't seen Reacher, oh please go watch Reacher. Like it's so good. Like season 1 is fantastic. That was a surprise for me. So I really enjoyed it. Deadwood was fantastic. We'd always talked about how we'd never seen it. And you know, as a kid, I was thinking about this when you mentioned the Deadwood movies. Like I remember when you'd be watching HBO and they would show previews for like here's shows of this, and growing up they would have previews for Deadwood. I thought that show went on so much longer than it did. And then we watched it and it was
only
like
on for a few years, yeah.
we only got to see it was only there for a few years and it was like not very much. Like, oh man.
It was like
crazy.
3 years I think it was on for. Like it wasn't that long.
Yeah, no. It's crazy. Crazy. TV series of the year, Halo TV series, The Salt that was farmed on those Reddit forums will keep me alive for years. It has extended my life, I'm pretty sure. It's like the spice from Dune. It's gonna extend my life. Like everybody hates it. I loved it so much, and I don't know if it's the series wasn't that good, but everybody's reaction to it was mwah, oh, it's so good. I can't express to you how much, like how great it was.
The salt.
And getting the tease winner about how much I loved it made it all the better in Discord.
Yeah.
A surprise for me, winning time the rise of the Lakers. I like that way more than I thought I was going to, and I can't wait for the next season. I enjoyed that. We talked about it. Oh my god, I feel like I'm going to talk about everything on the list. In terms of TV shows, I almost didn't watch anything bad. I enjoyed it all. So like, it's you know,
it's good.
Tokyo Vice is really interesting. Look at like a cop, investigative reporter, noir kind of Tokyo Vice story. Like it's on HBO. Check it out if you haven't seen it. It's strong recommendations. Ken Watanabe's in it. I'm looking forward to another season of that. The Offer. Boy, did I expect nothing from this, and boy, did it deliver me a really good miniseries with Miles Teller, Juno Temple. It's about the making of The Godfather. I talked about it on the show a lot. If you've seen The Godfather, go watch The Offer. It's great. Star Trek: Strange New Worlds was pretty high on my list. I really enjoyed Strange New Worlds, but Anson Mount is fantastic in anything. So, really enjoyed checking that out, and we group watched a lot of that. So getting to be together and watch it really helped. Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi gave me a lot of good moments from this year on the TV front. Like I really enjoyed getting to see those characters, that cast, back again after so long. So that was enjoyable. Stranger Things was okay. Some parts of it I didn't like, but I'm gonna mention it anyway. The Boys I had a lot of good time with. Miss Marvel I liked. I don't think it was perfect, but I liked it for the most part. The Bear. I say this now. Go watch The Bear. It's 8 episodes. It's 30 minutes. It is fantastic. Like, if I was gonna make a list, it might be number 1. Like, it was so good. Really? It was so good. Wow. Yes, The Bear was, because I wasn't. It's a lot of shows I don't expect, right? Because I go in with no expectations. Like, I've heard this is good, so let's check it out. And then you watch it, and it kind of blows your socks off. Like when I see something like The Book of Boba Fett or Obi-Wan Kenobi or like Star Trek, it kind of comes with like a lot of baggage attached to it, right? Like, this is gonna be Star Wars, so it's gonna be great. It's gotta be great. Or this is Star Trek, it's gotta be great. Like, it's kind of like the things that are like Winning Time and Tokyo Vice and The Bear and The Offer, right? Like, those are the ones that really blow my socks off because I have no expectations for those things, right? Like, I'm going in completely like blind on it. So The Bear is pretty high up there. I like the new season of Westworld. It's too bad the show is canceled and we're not gonna get that final season. Like, I get that it wasn't perfect, but I felt like it had kind of gotten back on track. And season 4 kind of ended in a way where it can end, but it's okay. I thought She-Hulk was fantastic. Like, I had a good time with She-Hulk. I enjoyed it a lot. I know there's a lot of people out there that are like, have a lot of issues with it, but a lot of them are misogynistic jackasses. So, like, She-Hulk Attorney at Law, I had a good time with it. This was a good time. House of the Dragons redemption for Game of Thrones came back. I had very low. I wasn't really hyped or excited for it, and I couldn't wait for the next episode after the previous one was over. So,
yeah,
I can't wait for the next season of that. I am gonna mention Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. Like, I liked it, but it wasn't perfect. I'm kind of curious to what they're gonna do with that show. Cobra Kai, we already talked about. I watched all the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel this year.
Hell
I've heard
yeah.
people talk about that show. I went in blind and I had a good time with it. I enjoyed it. I can't wait for the next season, which I think is the final season um,
I think so.
of Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. I enjoyed every step of the way. Andor, Andor was fantastic. Like I like, God, I can't. There's so much in that show that I feel is good, and I love Star Wars in general. But I enjoyed it a lot. The Werewolf by Night. I went in when we were watching it. I was like, I don't know if this is gonna be good. And then like, I think there was a moment when we were watching it because we were watching it in a group. I was like, guys, I'm loving this. This is
Yeah.
fantastic. This is great.
Yeah.
Like it was so good. Like they didn't hit it out of the park. Michael Giacchino and those guys over there. So, um,
Absolutely.
Tales of the Jedi was so fun. Getting to see like all, especially like the Dooku arcs of the
Yes.
show was like, oh, it
Dooku
was just so
episodes
good to
were
get to see
phenomenal.
those. So good, so good. The Guardians Holiday Special was great. The Light and Magic was the
Oh, so
miniseries, the
good.
ILM miniseries.
I love that type of stuff, man.
Yes, it was so good. I know I'm taking up so much time, but it doesn't
No,
matter.
you're
We
good.
fucking
You're
long
good.
show,
Yeah.
and the last show of the year. It's gonna be long. Okay.
Well, it's not even long because we fucking ran through the
Well,
news because that was like nothing.
I'm gonna be long winded. Um, and then Cyberpunk Edge Runners. I'm sorry if you didn't like this. You're wrong. Because that show is fantastic and great. And I'm not
Yes.
gonna fight with you about it. I'm just gonna tell you you're fucking wrong. It's great. It would be in contention for number one if I was actually ranking these, but I'm not. So, because it makes my job easier not to rank it. I'm just gonna tell you what I like, and you should check it out too. Um, so that's my
Yeah.
TV shows, man, and pretty much everything on the list. Everybody should go watch. You know, like, most of
So in
it's
other
great.
words, a lot of the shows you watched, you enjoyed,
It's
and were
true.
pretty
They
good.
were all good. How about you, DT?
All right, for me, Cobra Kai, both seasons, season 4 and 5, fantastic, love them. Book of Boba Fett. Well, actually, go back to Cobra Kai. One of my favorite shows on TV right now.
Yeah.
Definitely recommend it to everybody. It's fantastic. Each season, just I love that this show is like consistently good because I feel like there's other shows like Stranger Things for me. Where I'm like I like certain seasons, but other seasons I don't as much. But I love that Cobra Kai is just like consistently good every season. I just love it. It gets like almost better, you know. So yeah. Book of Boba Fett, yeah, like you were saying, it's not perfect, but it still had that I got that Star Wars feeling out of it, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like I got my there was a lot of good moments in it that I really enjoyed. So yeah, really like that. Ted Lasso season 2, fucking great. Loved it. Cowboy Bebop live action. It was fun, but it wasn't as good as the animated, I would say. Ozark, really good show. If you haven't seen it. Deadwood, obviously we talked about that. Great show, loved it. Um, I was kind of bummed out when it ended because I was like, man, that's how they just ended it originally before I watched the movie. Primal, really good stuff if you like the Gendy Tartakovsky animated stuff. Um, yeah, Deadwood, just great show. Moon Knight, my favorite MCU show of the year. Love Moon Knight, fantastic. Uh, love the character.
Yeah,
Love
Moon Knight was great.
Oscar Isaac playing him. Winning time, the rise of the Lakers dynasty, as Josh said, was good. As a Laker fan though, and somebody who knows what's going on with there, some of that stuff, I'm like, they clearly dramatized this because it's a show. But I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, what is what it is. It's for entertainment,
It's
whatever.
what we got DT here for. So when I don't know a thing, he can educate me on it. Well, obviously some of that was
Rome,
traumatized.
Rome was another one of those HBO shows like Deadwood that Josh mentioned that it was just in the time where like they would have these great shows and like cancel them before their time, you know. And Rome was great. That was one of them. I really enjoyed that one.
The glory of Rome.
I'm not. 1883 was good, but I only saw the first 2 episodes, so this is definitely gonna be on my list this time
Next
next
year.
year because
Yeah.
I need to watch it. I gotta finish it. Um, Strange New Worlds. I'm not really a Star Trek guy, but I really enjoyed that one. That was a again, Anson Mount as Pike is like my favorite Star Trek. Was it commander or captain or whatever? He's great. Obi-Wan Kenobi, phenomenal. Phenomenal stuff. I really loved it. I don't understand people's issues with that show because I loved it. I it was great having Ewan and Hayden back, and I enjoyed Reva character and yeah, it was a lot of fun. I really liked it. I love little Leia. She was amazing. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. That was definitely one of my favorite Star Wars things this year. Tales of the Jedi, another one of my favorite Star Wars things this year.
Hmm.
I mean, again, just I don't want to spend too much time on it, but just to reiterate what Josh said, the Dooku stuff was by far up and away the best episodes in the show. And I would love if they gave us a Tales of the Jedi season 2 where they gave us more stories for even more Jedi that we don't know as much about because I feel like this would be a good show for them to like utilize a lot of the Clone Wars era Jedi or some of the just in general like a lot of Jedi that we maybe got to see in the movies or other stuff like that that didn't get as much screen time or much to do in those movies because the movies are focused on the Skywalkers and all that stuff. So you can do that with Tales of the Jedi. Like how cool would it be to like see like a young Mace Windu or like a young Yoda or like you know more I mean shit I'd love to see more Qui-Gon and Dooku or like or this one line of dialogue in the Clone Wars where Obi-Wan said that he and Qui-Gon were on Mandalore defending Duchess Satine, like, on Mandalore for, like, an entire year. Like, I wanna see that. So just things like that. I know we touched upon it when we did our episode of Tales of the Jedi, like, what stuff we would like to see. So, yes, I would love to see a continuation of that. The Boys season 3, another one of my favorite shows on TV right now, fantastic. Uh, Light and Magic, super awesome documentary about the ILM. Definitely check it out if you're into that kind of stuff. Strongly recommend. It's so good. The Harley Quinn animated show continue to be fun. Although I don't know if I like this season as much as previous seasons. The Lego Star Wars Summer Vacation was a fun little thing. Better Call Saul, my goodness, fantastic fucking show. Fantastic show. You guys need to watch it. It's one of my favorite shows ever. It's so good. House of the Dragon, really, really good. As Josh said, it was kind of like a comeback for the Game of Thrones stuff because it was so well done. Marvelous Mrs. Maisel season 4 was fantastic as well. I really loved that. I continue to enjoy that show. Looking forward to seeing the future of it. The TV special Werewolf by Night, again, just absolutely loved it from start to finish. As soon as they changed the logo, the Marvel Studios intro logo, I was on board. So shout out to Michael Giacchino for not only being the composer to that, but also the director. Cyberpunk Edge Runners, my favorite anime of the year that I watched. So good. I absolutely loved it. I love that show. It was really well done. Um, The Boys Diabolical was kind of cool. There were neat little
Diabolical.
there were neat little episodes. There was only one episode that I thought was absolute dog shit, but the rest of them were all right. And the Guardian special was okay, but I wasn't like super crazy about it. But that's pretty much all the like stuff I watched that I touched on that maybe Josh didn't. Oh, Our Flag Means Death. I didn't talk about that one, but that's a fun little like pirate show if you're into that on HBO Max. But anyway, there it is. Those are the things that we played or watched this year that
That's the
we really
list. I'm
enjoyed.
saving it. I'm downloading it right now. That way we always have it as soon as I figure out how to do that. Here it
Oh,
is.
nice, cool.
I'm gonna save it as a PDF. So that way, in like 5 years, when we're like, "Hey guys, let's go back 5 years and look at this stuff
Oh,
we watched."
jeez.
See how much the landscape's changed, huh?
That actually is cool. Yeah, like keeping. Well, I'm glad you're keeping it because I wasn't planning on doing that, so that's cool.
Yeah, yeah, because we are gonna clear this list because we're gonna do this again next year.
Indeed, 2023 is here. So
So I wanted to make sure we saved it.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm actually really glad that we decided to do this. Like, it was
No,
just
yeah, it's
like
cool. Like
it
looking
started off as like
at
I'm gonna just do this personal stuff for like personal, right? And then it just became like let's just do this for the show. Like,
yeah.
so what were you gonna
Like
say,
it's
DT?
just a fun thing to have in general. No, I was just gonna say like it's cool like looking back at certain things where you're like, man, I watched that this year. That's how that seemed like it was forever ago, like last year or something. Uh, but yeah, it's just like it's just neat going looking back at like, oh man, I watched that like I must have watched that like really early in the year because that seemed like it was forever ago. And just yeah, just seeing at the end of the year like how much stuff you got in there, like it's great. It's cool.
Fantastic. Um, by the way, one of the things I was looking at Spotify, and Spotify did a wrap for like the podcast stuff on there. We produced over 6,000 minutes this year of podcast content. Over 6,000 minutes of podcast, which is crazy. That's so much.
That is
So
nuts.
much. Um,
That's not even counting like this episode, man. Damn.
yeah, no, right? That's not counting this episode. I don't even think it counts like everything. It's just like, hey, you did like over 6,000 minutes. Like,
It's a lot of minutes.
crazy. That's a lot. That's a lot. Okay, DT, we still got some time left. Is there any? Do you want to look at some of the shows that we did this year and pick out a couple of ones that you really particularly enjoyed, or anything like that?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Let's look back at our year here on the Clockwork Cantina. I'm gonna go ahead and open up the playlist of our year
I'm also gonna open up
uh
DT's playlist. Yeah.
this year, and I'm gonna go ahead and see like what the first episode of the year was because we did a lot. We did a lot this year. A lot of episodes, I think. Actually, that's a good thing we should look at is how many episodes we did this year. Because I'm like really curious how many we did this year compared to how many we did last year. Just like out of curiosity's sake.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and look at that real quick because I'm actually very curious about it. So um what I want to see is where does 2022 start?
I think
'Cause-
2022 starts at Cobra Kai season 4. We started the year off with a bang.
Okay, so that was the first one, which means that when does 2021 start?
Oh god, pause.
Let me look up.
Nope. Oh my god, look at me. I had short hair. What the fuck happened? I've turned into a hillbilly from the mountains.
Okay,
Oh, look at
so
those two young guys right there.
I think 2021 starts with the 2021 games and movie preview, which I think is the way it's gonna be here going forward. So we did in 2021, we did, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 40. We did 41 episodes in 2021, which means we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 2, 3, 4, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. Oh, we did So today's episode will be the 41st episode. So we did 41 episodes last year and this year. That is
Wow.
actually including so today's episode will be the 41st. That is actually nuts how we did 41 both years.
Yeah, we
Wow.
missed the
I
exact
wasn't
same days.
Yeah, I was not expecting that. I was expecting one year to be bigger than the other. You know.
I really
Wow.
thought we were more consistent this year. Like, but I guess we just went on a streak where we missed a couple, and it ended up being just the same.
Yeah.
Wow, we were so consistent. I thought, man. Oh well.
Okay, well that's cool. Okay,
That's
so
crazy.
going back to the original question of what was some of my favorite shows this year. I mean Cobra Kai, we did 2 Cobra Kai episodes this year because that show was great and they had one season at the beginning of the year, one season here in September. So those were great. What else did we do this year? Oh wait, no, never mind. That Cobra Kai was in 2021. So never mind. We did one Cobra Kai. So I always like doing the game shows and movie preview one at the beginning of the year so we can
Yeah,
kind of see what we have. Like that's gonna be our next episode, by the way, also for 2023 is we're gonna come back on the 9th. Then Monday the 9th will be our first episode of the year. We're skipping the second because we're doing an episode right now today. So yeah, I always like doing that one at the beginning of the year. Then I like doing the D&D world building ones because those are always fun.
Oh yeah, that last one we did was great.
The games of the decade one was interesting doing those that we did. Um, Obviously the movie and TV ones like the Batman and Book of Boba, those are always fun to talk about. Oh, I really like doing the Marvel Comics one, like the Civil War that we did.
Yes, I was sitting here thinking like that's
That
pretty
was
high up
like
for me too. That was cool.
that was like one of our like new things that we did this year in 2023 was like read a comic, talk about it. Which by the way, I wanted to do more of that this year, but we just had other things come up that had to replace them or like we skipped some shows so we couldn't really do them. But I definitely want to do more this year
Yeah, I
or
agree.
2023. I want to do more of that because that was
That
a lot
was
of fun.
fun. Yeah.
I like doing the Star Wars Day episode with OMG. It's whatever, who is
Yeah.
now known as the Evilverse. She's always fun. I love her. She's a good friend. Um, Always fun having her around. I like talking about Star Wars Celebration. That was cool because I went to it this
Yeah.
year
We
and
got to
I
look at
had
DT's
I
photos and
shared
stuff
some
on stream.
pictures and videos that I had, even though the videos were kind of janky. But anyway,
It was still
uh,
cool.
the pictures that I had were cool from that. Yeah, Light and Magic was cool because I like spreading like awareness for things that I think are cool, and that is definitely one of the things I thought was cool that we you know hopefully we got more people to watch that
I really liked
because
the wrestling episode we
definitely
did
deserving of it.
with Savas J. Like that was a lot of fun to have Savas J on. Because
Yeah,
we
it was
wanted to
cool.
do
It was
more
cool finally having
guests.
him on. Yeah,
Yeah, we wanted to do more guests this year. And we did at least get some different one. Well, a few different ones. I guess we only did like 2 guests, huh?
yeah. We only did OMG and CFJ. Yeah,
I feel like we did more, but we didn't. Huh? Damn.
that
Well,
that
it
was
was cool to have Savas
2021.
J.
Yeah,
It was cool to have Savas J on. Maybe we'll get. I want more guests next year. Damn it. If we can. The problem is with that is scheduling. It's so hard to
scheduling.
get to
Yeah,
schedule.
that's the thing. It's always scheduling because that's always the difficult part.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Uh, yeah, Wolf by Night was good. Tales of the Jedi was good. World building.
But fucking
Cobra
favorite
Kai,
gaming
Princess Bride.
companions was so hard.
That
That
was
one
cool.
was
Yeah,
so
talking about
hard.
that. So yeah, those are probably some of my favorites. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of good ones, man. A lot of good
I
ones
really enjoyed our Maltese Falcon because that may have been like the oldest. Was that the oldest thing we've watched?
so far. I don't know. Maybe
I think
1941. Has there been anything? When did Casablanca come out?
I think. Well, it was after. It's during World War II, right? Casablanca. So that was in the.
So it had to have been before that.
But it
Then,
was
yeah.
before we were in it. Casablanca was 42. We beat it by
Ooh,
a
so they were
year
close.
with the Maltese Falcon. Um,
I wonder if
yeah,
in 2023 we'll watch something that's even older than that.
I don't know. I don't know what's much. Wow, what could probably.
I have an idea for one, but it'll be like maybe Halloween time stuff. But anyway,
Ooh,
that's all I want to say for
that'll be
now.
fun. Mark it in your books, guys. Next year, Halloween time.
Yeah.
Uh,
So yeah,
nah, man.
I know you were kind of mentioning some episodes, but what are some of your favorite ones?
I don't know if I have any like. I kind of agree with like everything you picked. Like, getting to talk about Prey was cool. I really liked that because I wasn't expecting a whole
Yeah,
lot from that movie, and it just blew me away. Um,
awesome.
the Summer Games Fest stuff, like whenever we do like the game stuff,
Yeah, the Game Awards, Summer Game Fest. That's
yeah,
always cool.
our anniversary shows are always fun. Um,
Mm. Which isn't, dude. Next year will be our 4-year anniversary.
yep.
That's nuts, man.
Um,
That's fucking crazy.
I love love. So when we did our favorite movie romances, like that was a
Ah,
fun
yeah.
one. Because we did that like the week before. When was fucking Valentine's Day? We did that right near
Well,
Valentine's Day.
if you look at the episode, like if you look at the video for the episode, what day did that?
Oh,
What day
it
was
was
that
on.
uploaded on?
It was that Monday was on Valentine's Day. So in the I think the show was the 15th. It uploaded on the 15th, which means we
Yeah,
did it
so
on
it's we did
Valentine's
it the
Day.
day before. Yeah, okay.
Um,
Cool.
so
That's
that's
fun. We might do something like that again for this Valentine's. Maybe we'll do like a favorite TV show or gaming couples or
that's the other thing, guys. We're not gonna have a show on Monday. Like DT and I are gonna take Monday off because today's
yeah.
Saturday. Um,
I had mentioned that we're not doing the one. Next show will be on the 9th, and it'll be the preview for the year. So
because we're gonna schedule out everything else, which is what we usually do. We schedule like a month or two in advance, just because when we first, if you guys remember, when we first started this show, we flew by the seat of our pants for like that first year until we were like, we need to plan this out better. uh, um,
sometimes it worked out. Sometimes it was like, ooh.
I like this way much better when we have everything kind
No,
of
I
planned in
agree.
advance.
I agree. I agree. I agree.
Okay, DT, do you have what any goals for next year? Like, what do we want to hit as a show? And then we can do like personal goals or anything like that. But as a
I don't.
show, what would you like?
Hmm.
Anything?
I mean, yeah, it would be nice to have continue to have more guests. Maybe find some ways to maybe start monetizing some stuff more. That'd be nice.
Yeah,
Maybe get
keep an
some
eye
like
out, guys.
sponsors or something. That'd be good. Um.
We got to pay our bills,
Oh yeah,
which is it's been a little rough this past year. Um,
definitely. Just hopefully keep growing. Maybe reaching more people, and
mhm.
like I said, part of that might be with having more guests on and all that kind of stuff. We'll have to see when we start planning out the show for this year. We'll have to see like what certain things we're gonna be talking about and who we can bring on and all of that. All that stuff will be interesting. But no, yeah, I'm just I'm gonna for me. I mean, I'm just gonna keep. We'll keep doing this show for as long as Josh wants to do it, and yeah, man. I mean, see how far we go,
Well,
right?
shit, this show's gonna go on till I die then, because I don't ever
Oh
want to
shit.
stop. um, sorry, I was trying to see if I could get some analytics from the past year, but it doesn't look like there's a way to just to set it to the past year. So, um, yeah, I can't do all this math in my head. Um, yeah, some of my goals is like I would like to try to. I know it's the evil to be like I want to make money off this, but it's not. It's not that I want to get rich off of it. I just want to pay the bills for like the hosting and stuff. Like it'd be kind of nice to do that. Really, it's kind of what I would like to kind of do. Maybe get some sponsors and stuff that kind of help pay for the podcast hosting because it isn't exactly cheap and and to be able to do things comfortably, like, all right,
Yeah,
we said we
like
were gonna go do this movie, and I can't
yeah,
really afford to
be
go to the
able to
movies.
go, yeah, be able to go watch it because there's some instances where sometimes I'm like, I'd like to go watch that, but movies is expensive, man. So,
Yeah, which, some of our friends helped us out a little bit with that, which we appreciate you guys. Meanwhile, to
and
our
as you
friends,
guys
our
know,
fans.
and as you
Hmm.
guys know, everything costs money. So it's like, yeah,
Hmm.
we'd love to do more stuff. Like if we could, man. I was talking, we were just talking about this the other day. Like I'd love to be able to go and do like, you know, go to conventions and stuff, around all over the
Yeah,
place and be able to go talk about and maybe do like some blogs or like, share our experiences on that and just be able to do that stuff, man. Cause like there's a lot of cool cons and events and shit all over the country and be cool to be able to go to some of that stuff, man.
for sure.
You know, it's just like I said, everything costs something, man. So it's tough to be able to do all that.
So those are some of the goals that we want to hit, guys. We want to be able to like what's good for us will be good for the podcast, and what's good for the podcast will filter down to you guys. Like we could do giveaways and things like that if we ever reach that point
Yeah.
to be able to do stuff like that. I would love, I think I said last year, like, well, I would love to be able to give away a console or a PC to somebody, to be, I'd love to get to that kind of point. And every year we do a little bit better. Like we grow very slow. We grow very slowly, and it doesn't look. It doesn't matter if nobody was watching us. Getting to be on here with DT and just talk about the things we want to talk about is the best. So I am glad whenever there's somebody here to watch, and I would love to be able to be like, here's thank you for your loyalty. We're gonna do a giveaway this month or this show or something.
Yeah, of
Like
course.
would be really cool. How about you personally, DT? Do you have any personal goals that you want to hit? Not necessarily for the show, but just for you.
Uh I mean, personal goals, I don't know. I mean, I would like to maybe try getting in the shape a little bit more because
I
man,
gotcha.
these past few years have been a little rough. You know what I mean? But I think the biggest one though is trying to just find uh like not find but like just be able to like um it kind of relates to what we were talking about, like wanting to monetize the find ways to monetize the show. Well, I just there's got to be more ways to to make more money, man. Because stuff this past year was rough, man.
Yeah.
This year has been rough, so I definitely that's one thing that I
Year of the hustle.
try
Let's get it.
to try to do this year. Because man, it was rough. And there's always like, and like I said, there's always shit that you're like, oh man, it'd be cool to be able to do that, or be able to get that, or it's like, well, you can't always do it, man. So that's why I want to
Mhm.
try to. That's like the big goal that I want to try to do for sure. But yeah, what are some of yours, man?
I want to stream more. I streamed very little this past year, and I'm really
Mm,
disappointed that I didn't do it more. But I think things are kind of turning around with that. I'll be able to do that more. Um, I'm gonna do more of the. I want to do more of the. Here's the dice making streams. Here's us building Lego streams. Here's that stuff. That's why I got the laptop. So that's one of
yeah.
my goals. I want to do more of that. Um, Tabletops. I want to bring back tabletops to the channel, man. We didn't do any this
Mm,
past year. Nothing. All we did was
no,
the with the our world
medieval.
building stuff, which is fun. But it's like we need to put some of those lessons into. We need to show off some of that stuff on the channel. Like we need to show off some of those safety tools. We need to show off some of those new game systems that we talked about. We need to and like I don't know how we'll do it, but I'd like to get more streamers and start like an online game. You know, me, DT, and whoever else we could rope into that. But like scheduling's hard, but I really want to do it. It would mean the world to me to get to do that stuff. Uh, I want to improve. You know, I need to improve my money making ability. Like
Yep.
I don't want to have to worry about bills and if I'm going to be able to pay for podcast hosting this year. You know, that's going to be, you know, we still have a few months left and it's not looking good at the moment. So we need to get that kind of rolling a little bit. But some of the things I'm proud of this year is I was really proud of my weight loss. Now, like, it kind of stalled out because of the holidays, but I was doing really good there for a minute, and I enjoyed talking about that on the show, and I want to get back on track with that next year. Um, you guys were keeping me honest, but the holidays, the holidays was like, look at that pie though, look at that, look at those carbs, look at that Georgia sweet tea that gives you the beatus. Don't you want some? Come and get it. You know, like let's get it. So I want to get back on track with that. I want to do more dice stuff next year. Um, I have a lot of goals I want to do next year. A lot of things I want to hit, but the biggest ones are I just want to stream more. You know, I want to be a better human as well. Like I obviously I have moments where I'm not the best person in the world. I want to improve on those moments. So but I think that's anybody, right? Like I want to be able to do better this year than I did. I mean, next year than I did this year. You know. Um. So yeah, those are kind of my goals, man. Like it's this year has been it's had its ups and downs. It definitely I think was more on the ups than the downs, but as compared to the previous COVID years and stuff. So it's I look forward to next year. I look forward to a fresh start, a clean slate. Um, I look forward to trying to improve my skills, and I'm sure DT is the same. Looking forward to improving his skills and in the streaming market and our creation ability. Um, so yeah, those are kind of like my hopes and dreams, DT. I don't really have a. I don't know what else to talk about. Is there anything else that you want to talk about for the rest of this show, DT, or should we wrap it up? Let me know what you got, my friend.
Um, I think that's probably I think that could probably do it. I mean, we touched on like several things in terms of like podcast itself and you know some of the things that we experienced this year and all that and yeah, I just yeah, I don't know. I hope uh next year is a good one, man, cuz we yeah, we need a good one. We need a good one, man. It's been kind of yeah, the past several years have there have been lots of ups and downs and man, I would really like it if we had like, just like a good solid year next year, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Cuz that would be nice for a change after all the craziness of the past several years, you know.
For sure.
But yeah.
All right. I'm gonna toss it over to you, DT, so you can say your goodbyes, my friend. So you're up.
Hey, hello. Thanks for watching everybody. We appreciate you guys for hanging out this entire year, for watching or listening to these episodes. We appreciate you. I haven't been streaming for a little bit myself either, but I want to plan on or I want to start streaming again. There's been a lot of craziness going on with my computer and the holidays, and there's a lot going on. So I want to start streaming again this upcoming week. Probably gonna take it easy and just start off with some, you know, chiller streams before we head back into the, you know, main storyline games and all that good stuff. But yeah, happy holidays to you all. Happy New Year. Hope you all stay safe and you know, have a good time out there. And yeah, we'll see you guys in 2023. Have a go and everybody go follow me on all the things and I'll see you next time. Bye bye. Peace out.
All right, guys. thanks everybody for watching the show and that has watched the show this past year. Appreciate all of you. Follow all the stuffs on the sidebars there, right over, right that way, over there. I 902 Dice Creations on TikTok, Instagram, Etsy. If you want to see any of the dice stuff, I'm a dice maker. Just gonna say, guys, be safe out there tonight. You know how it is. There'll be people out there making mistakes really hard with alcohol and getting in cars when they shouldn't. So just try to be safe out there. Um, just be safe in general. Like the world is kind of crazy sometimes. And let's hope for a better year next year and keep pumping. And if all you did was make it, if all you did was make it to the end of the year, that's enough. I respect you. I love you for that. Let's make it to the end of next year and the year after that, and we'll just keep doing better each time, man. Life is short. Enjoy your time here with your friends, and I appreciate you guys giving us some of your time each and every week that watch or listen to this show. And we'll see you next year, guys. Bye bye.